Anyone here? I'm just gonna stay quiet until I see people. Say something if you want me to talk. So I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers. Be really great if we can get 100. So please come join my channel if you're interested in my content. I'm gonna have more content. I'm just, waiting on I was supposed to interview someone today, but it got pushed to tomorrow. So I am excited about that. I have my questions. I have everything that I am ready for the interview. We're going to be talking about literacy. We're going to be talking about education, the state of education, and all of those important things. So, yeah, I'm trying to reach 100. Real easy. Just hit the subscribe button. If you like my content, why not? I get likes on Instagram. If you like it on Instagram, then like it on YouTube. It's hard. I mean, I think it's not hard. I think I know what I need to do to get more, but it's gonna take time. This stuff takes time. Are you guys having a good Saturday? It's already 2:00. Oh my goodness. Are you having a good Saturday? Just drop in and say hi, and then you can leave. I love my. Although the way I make my coffee is I do the coffee grinds and then I put tea, the tea grinds, the tea from a tea leaf, and I put it in there. And I put some, also I put some spice in there, like a tea spice. So good. Coffee and some tea, mix it up. It's so good. With some creamer, the best. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to reach 100. I don't know how. I want to change the title to this. I don't know if you can do it from here. I think you can. Okay, oh, I think you need to do it from studio. But what do you want to know more about? Oh, there. So, oh, I have 2 views, but if that's, I don't know who that is, if that's me. So yeah, if you're here, I see one eye in the eye thing, I see a live viewer. I don't know if that's me, if that was viewing me. But if you're here, say hi, say something. I wonder if you can say hi. Let's see. Tired of hearing about myself. It says one watching. Is that me? Let me see. Yeah, I think that's me. You can say hi. Oh, oh, thank you. Oh, I see. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have my first interview tomorrow. I'll be doing it all. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be doing my first interview with an education and literacy expert. Although I could talk about a lot of things, I just need your feedback. And again, I'm not the type of person that is I'm not clickbaity. I don't like that, because when people start clickbaiting, and I don't like that, and then you start getting into this whatever conversation they're having and we don't get to an answer. I like to talk about the truth. You know who my favorite comedian is? It's Jimmy Dore. And I'm name dropping him because I mean he's a little wild, but he does talk the truth. I like listening to him because he exposes the truth. So I like to, I'm not going to take his approach, but I do like to do deep dives. So tomorrow's the podcast, and I'm really excited about that. Oh, Crystal, thank you, Crystal Clear. You're so sweet. I'm really trying to get 100. If we can get to 1,000, that would be awesome. Then I can build. It's just a lot of work. I don't have a producer. I don't have an editor. I do it all by myself. And it's time consuming and it's a lot of work. But I think I can do it on my own until, all that stuff gets figured out. Tell me about yourself, Crystal, if you want. Or please share with your friends. Please have them subscribe. That would be awesome. And I still haven't gotten to 50. 50 subscribers. I still haven't gotten to 50, I don't think. But I'm really pushing. And so, because this is fun, it's fun to be able to talk and to share my expertise with other people and to get feedback and to get comments. I like that stuff. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. Were you already subscribed, Crystal? When I was teaching at a university, I was doing Canvas, and I really liked it because you could work from home. Well, not necessarily work from home, but you can do the teachings from home. And when we were in COVID, I was doing it from home, and it was really fun. It was a really interesting way to connect with students because I really think they could be a little bit more vulnerable. They could be a little bit more honest about what they're struggling with rather than being in a classroom. And being in front of their peers, because sometimes kids are shy. And I just really like this format better. So is there anything you'd like me to talk about, Crystal, since you're the only one in here? I'll talk about anything. Yeah, I'm really trying to push. We can get me to 50. I posted on Instagram and everyone likes my stuff on Instagram, but they won't subscribe, and I don't know why. So I posted videos from here. If there's anything you'd like to, is there anything you want me to talk about? Or are you a teacher, or are you in the education industry? So yeah, I'm really trying to get my word out. If you can help me, that would be great, Crystal. Anyone, however, we can get my stuff out there. Again, like, I don't want to be, I want to be relatable. Of course, I want to be relatable to people, but relatable for my niche, my content, which is education. I mean, there's a lot of podcasters. There's too much, and some of it's just not. It's just talk. It's just talk and talk and talk, but there's no real point to it. This one is blabbing, but generally speaking, I do like to talk about education and things that are important. Like, for example, AI in education. Another example is the special education funding that's being taken away from our students. That's horrible and it's insane. And I don't understand this. We are losing important money to support students in the classroom. It's hard enough as it is. Like with multilingual learners, with teachers that are dealing with multilingual learners, I give teachers ways to handle that. And I help them with AI. That's why I think AI is important, because, it helps them. Oh, I like Finland's education system too, because they know what they're doing. That's the model. That's what we need to do. I mean, they have these kids doing everything without doing a lot of work, and that's their philosophy. I actually did a paper, with some of it on their education system and how there's a lot of play in the classroom. They don't make them do a lot of homework, and everything is focused on like their multimodal system. I think it would work in America too. Yeah, the gutting of the Department of Education is awful, Crystal. I think it's terrible. What are we doing? We're taking away money. We're taking away resources from our students. It's bad enough that there's already resources being taken away. Yeah, it's a terrible idea. And I think the money is going in the wrong places. And I don't really want to get into sort of truth. I don't want my podcast to be about hostility. I want it to be positive and productive and respectful. That is my biggest thing, respect. It's terrible what's going on with the education system. And, with the next election that's coming up, people really have to take a stand, and figure out what we need to do here, because it's hurting us. It's hurting the system. It's hurting the students. It's not helping the teachers. It's not helping push kids forward, and we need to get everyone involved, the community involved, the teachers involved. But there's a lot of politics too, I mean, who voted? We voted for him, and this is what we get, and it's terrible. It's terrible. What do you think? So I'll do a deep dive. That's good that you told me about the Finland's education system. I am going to take notes, and I'm going to do a deep dive on that, and compare the two, because I did write a paper on them, and it's a lot of my research I get it from them. Education system. Because they're successful. They're doing everything right. The kids are succeeding. There are no real, the whole area, the whole place, the whole country is thriving. They're doing something right, and all of its leadership, and we need to go in that direction. This country needs to go in that direction, but we can't when we have, so many different groups controlling everything. Unions are great, but unions are in it for themselves in many cases. I would have to do a deep dive, but I'm not sure if Finland is like a union country, but if it would make sense if it's not, because then that means they can do whatever they want. They can do what's best for the students. But yeah, they are top tier. So I will do a deep dive on that. Thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I talk about, a lot of things. Like I like to talk about Palestine and Israel. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We need to start with low income communities and reform public education. I work in a rural school district. So when you work in a rural area, it's typically not, it's the income ratio is not that great. But it is growing, and it is improving. But yeah, those students, we need to give them the most out of our educational system. So for example, I was just watching Hard Lessons, and it's a movie with Denzel Washington, and it aired in 1986. It's old, but a lot of the stuff that's in that movie is still going on. The violence. I mean, you watch the news, there's violence in schools constantly. It's mixed race violence, right? It's not just, it's all different. I mean, we're getting it from all different nationalities and cultures, and so, there's a lot of controversy over it and why it's happening, but it's happening with every type of student, and it's really scary. And it's like, why is this happening in this country? You go to Japan, you go to China, you go to Finland, there's not a lot of that stuff going on, and what is really going on? I mean, I'm traveling to Portugal. When I went to Greece, again, the educational system is phenomenal in Greece. It's one of the best. In Greece, if you go there and you get educated, you will be prepared for anything. The only issue is they don't have jobs. So what the students do there is they go and they get educated, and then they come to America, and then they milk it. They get the good salary, they get excellent salaries. But I was talking to a lot of the locals, and they were saying that, their kids, they get educated there, and then they have to leave, whether it's America or France, or they have to leave the country because there's not a lot of jobs there, but they get the best education there. Italy, the same thing, the best education. And in Italy, they pay you to go to school. It's insane. They pay you, they house you. You got to go through this program. I met a guy that was living in one of the little homes. I needed to use the restroom, and he was nice enough to let me, and it was like an apartment complex type thing. And he was just a kid. And I was just talking to him because I like to talk to the locals. And he said, yeah, he's a student there. And I said, oh, so tell me about the school systems. And he was saying that, yeah, I go here and they pay me for it, and they pay for my housing. They pay for their housing. I mean, you literally can get a free education in Europe. And it's like, look at us, look at what we're doing. Students are having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. Yes, students don't know. Students know we don't. Yes, exactly. There's a lot of that. And it's ridiculous. It's sad, and it's true. It's like, we just throw them out there into the college systems, but are we preparing them? Are the high schools really preparing them, or do we just want high graduation rates? And this is something that's been irking me along for a while. When the kids use AI to answer questions, or when when they're doing these things, what are we really doing? How are we helping them? When they go to college, those professors don't care. They don't need a graduation rate. The colleges don't need high graduation rates. I mean, they do, but they don't, if you know what I'm talking about. Once the kid pays for tuition and they enroll in those classes, those professors, if you don't do the work and you don't do it right and honorably and ethically, they'll fail you. I want to teach college. I'm not the type that will fail them the first time, but I'll definitely give them a stern warning that they need to get it together, because no one has time. You only have one semester. You only have 4 years. 4 years is how many semesters? That's 4 times 2. That's 8 semesters. So yeah, it's, you have to cram in your classes, and you're working and you're doing a lot of stuff. So it's a lot, and you have to be ready. And that's my biggest gripe is, are we preparing them, or is it just a diploma mill? So yeah, it's been kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm going to definitely, that's interesting. I'm glad. I want to look into that, into Finland's education system, and do a deep dive on that pretty soon. And when I do these podcasts, I listen to my audience a lot. So I do listen to them, and I do like to, do what they say. I'm all about that. I'm not perfect by any means necessary. I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I made some mistakes already. But, I don't want to beg. I do want to grow my channel, though. I do want to get it to 50, at least 50 or 100, and try to go from there without any ads right now. So, and go from there. Well, Crystal, you're so sweet. I really appreciate you joining me. It's really sweet. I really like this, and I want to, share, tell your friends, whatever you need to do. Um, but it's really exciting. It's an exciting journey. Do you have any other questions, or do you want to say any other comments? I've got to get going, but I don't want to leave until you're okay with everything I've addressed. I re Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then you were able to, and you were prepared, correct? I mean, that's essentially, you don't have to tell me where you're from. Are you East Coast, West Coast, out of the country? Don't tell me where you're from. Are you like, what part of the universe are you? You don't have to tell me where. Don't tell me where. That's none of anyone's business. Where yeah, I mean, that's essentially what we need to do. What we do here in America, what they started to do, okay, what they started to do is do like whatchamacallit, like they give college classes to high school students. So the high school students can take college courses or the high school kids can take college courses in high school, and then they can use those to transfer as college credits. And that's what they do here. They just started doing that in the American public school systems, which I think is great if the student is prepared. But sometimes they're not prepared. When I was teaching at a community college, that's what I was doing. I forget. I know it's off the top of my head. Oh, dual enrollment. That's what it's called. I don't know why my brain is not thinking, but it's dual enrollment. That's what they call it. So the kids can do college classes and in high school. And if they're in, and they can do it on the high school campus, and sometimes they can do it on the college campus. But I think it's great as long as they're prepared. The only issues with that is that you have to treat the kid like a high school kid because they're only 17. So the same high school rules apply. You have to call the parents and do all that stuff. When you're teaching just regular college kids, you don't have to call the parents. You can just teach them without dealing with all that. But yeah, that's a great way to sort of prepare them for the colleges. Where I am, we're very much behind the times. Like in New York, what they're doing is the comprehensive exams are all like hands-on. So now part of the regents, the kids, the way they can only graduate if they pass these new comprehensive exams, which is like hands-on, right? They not only have to learn, right, book learn, but they have to know how to do it in real life situations. And that is part of their diploma. That's part of how they earn their diploma. That's going to be part of New York. We, here in the West Coast, it's very laid back. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've heard of that. That's awesome. But a lot of our students are not aware of that. We just try to get them. They don't really introduce that to students here where I'm at. And it's partly because, they want scholarships. They want like traditional scholarships to get students into traditional schools. And so we don't really go over that with our students, but that's great. We now have the Heritage Program, which is helping our African American students. And then we have a program for our Latinx students, which helps them get into college. And then Avid, obviously. Do you have Avid over there? Yeah, I mean, those are, AmeriCorps is great, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them into those traditional schools, into the HBCUs, the historically Black, okay. Yeah, it's different. It's different over here. So, you know, over here, it's very, laid. It's like they wait until something bad happens, until they make a change, or they wait until something is needed to make a change. And so it's frustrating because I'm from New York. I went to the Yonkers public school systems, and it as until I was 7 years old, and when I was still more advanced when I got here, when I got into elementary school. And so I just felt a little, when I got here, I felt very much stunted and frustrated and confused and all of that stuff. But luckily, everything worked out. But yeah, that's great. So I'm going to go ahead. I appreciate you, Crystal. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I love talking like that. I could talk forever. Yeah, that's my problem. I could talk forever, but I don't want to talk forever because I don't want to waste your time or my time. Well, I don't want to waste anyone's time. But I appreciate you coming on. It's really sweet of you. If you can share this and get the word out, that would be great. I'm not looking for a big crowd. I just want to get up to 100 or maybe 1,000. I mean, I do want to grow this channel, but I'm not, it's overwhelming for me. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Did you want to say any final thoughts? Oh, you didn't have, oh, that's right. You said you didn't have anything. Okay. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to wish you a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet. One person is enough. Okay. Thank you. Have a great, great Saturday. I don't know if you could see my hand, but I'm saying bye.